like I said, as quick as we were getting that verdict and as quick as that was going on Twitter, just as quick, everything was flipping because in Columbus, Ohio, 16-year-old Makhia Bryant was shot 4 times by a cop and dead right there in front of the house that she was supposedly living in. Now, the fast facts on what we have there, because I was trying to look that up today because they still haven't been able to say or prove if she was actually the one who called 911. But from what I understand is there was an altercation or a fight wanting to happen, or some people had showed up to the house she was living in wanting to fight. And also what I'm hearing is that these were adult girls. Now she's 16. She's 16. That part is not disputed. She's a 16-year-old girl. I still don't think that we've gotten all of it, like how old the other 2 girls were or the other people were or whatever. But they showed up, and then part of the story was saying that she is actually the one who called 911. Now, what also isn't disputed here is that she was actually the one that had the knife when the cop got out of the car.
Yes.
But here's some other things that I think that when we're talking about this whole story that people are not talking about enough. There were other cops that were already there.
Really?
Yes, because if you watch the video, which it took me a minute to watch because I avoided it for a minute, and then I walk in my room and there it was on CNN. When he gets out of the car and he comes around, as the minute that the shots fire, other cops come from these other places, like or whatever, and there were people trying to break up. Then there was a gentleman there, which I don't know his relation either, that he kicked one of the girl who was on the ground. She got kicked in the head by a guy. Now, some of the questions I want answered, and these may be the unpopular questions to ask as a black man, because I don't put this in the same exact category as I do George Floyd. And I'll tell you why. She's a child. That's first off. First of all, a child should not be dead that quick with the police showing up, in my opinion. But I also feel like I don't totally think that the police are who failed us here. I think the adults who were around the situation as it developed, they failed in many ways as well. And the reason I say that is I don't have all this information, and I'm still trying to get it. If she called 911, this is just a scenario that I pictured as it was being told to me at first, and I was seeing the first reports. If she called 911, where she called 911 from is super important here. And I say it's super important here because of this. At no point have they said that the girls who came for the fight were in the house. So if she was able to call 911 from in the house, whoever let her go outside, they got to wear some of this. Because if you have a kid inside, if I got one of my little cousins, my son, anybody, and somebody shows up at my house to fight, the last thing that's going to happen, especially if I've already called the police, is I'm going to let my son get out of the house, or my niece or my nephew or my little cousin, or even one of the kids from the neighborhood that I got in my house already. I'm not letting them get out of the house with the knife, because the situation is not going to go any better after that.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
No.
The situation does not get better if the kids get out of the house with a weapon. So if there are adults on the scene, they are failing immediately right there.
So disgusting.
You understand what I'm saying? Like they're now, I'm not going to blame anybody under 18 for the letting of their kids. So somebody that's an adult there, they have to be the one to be an adult. And I think somewhere along the line, we've forgotten that part in a lot of this stuff that goes on. There's some accountability for, I'm an adult, you're a child.
Right. And I should not be allowing this child to fight.
Right.
That is not how we handle conflict.
Now, and I'm only feeling that way if the 911 call was made from inside the house. Because if you're inside the house already and you've called the cops, you're in a safe space. If they don't got guns to shoot their way in, doors are locked. I don't care if I'm looking out the window. I'm still in a safe space until the cops arrive.
Right.
When the cops get there, then we can decipher every single thing that's going on. Because first of all, if they on my property, they already wrong. So when the cops arrive, the arrests are happening right there because you on my property.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And everybody's probably alive at this point because there was no entanglement because Makhia never got out of the house. Now, if she was already outside, I still kind of hold some of the adults partly
They're
responsible because you let it go. Like, you don't egg these things on. These kids are
and just stand by.
Right. You don't just stand by with this girl has a knife, and if these girls don't have a knife, if they're whatever, somebody got a weapon out here. You already like I've seen people, like I've seen neighborhoods, right, where we've had adults, right, when I was growing up, and they be like, you know what? If y'all gonna fight, it's gonna be a fair fight, and it's over when it's over. And I've seen like bigger dudes like in the neighborhood, right? And they put two dudes in a circle, and they be like, we done with this when it's over with though. Y'all gonna fight right now, and then y'all gonna shake hands, and it's over with. And they controlled it. Yeah. I've seen dudes put two kids in boxing gloves, and they don't let no friends get in it, nothing. It's like, okay, y'all every day with this is where it's gonna happen at. And when we finish, we're gonna shake hands, and everybody gonna go, we're gonna get juices, and we're gonna drink, but it's over. And they control the neighborhood like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I've even seen those situations. But this obviously wasn't one of those situations. And so many times what I'm seeing now is adults aren't jumping in to be like, yo, calm down.
Right.
They pulling out their camera phone. They're jumping in, agitating the situation, or they're pulling out their phones.
Yeah.
And so now, after we've lost this 16-year-old kid, now we're at the cops. And my issue with the cops is this. There is always so much force when it comes to us. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying, when I've watched that video, I'm not saying that somebody's family didn't come out of this thing probably happy, because the girl she was going at, from what it looked like to me, I'm sure her family's like, good thing she didn't kill you or she didn't stab you. Because there's a girl in pink that she's actually, where there was one that fell on the ground, then she turns around. From what I see in the video, there's a girl in the pink that she's actually going at, and that's when she gets shot. But I don't think, no way, no how, that he had to put 4 in her. I just feel like it's always an unusual amount of force.
You can also tase people.
Right.
Tase people. That literally shocks their body. They can't move. It would drop, right. Well, anyways, go on.
Right. I mean, you could jump in here wherever you want to. I mean, and that, like, these are all the things that I feel like they're factors in. Now we're out here again with another young black kid dead. You know what I'm saying? And
after calling for help.
Right. And one of my issues, like, you know what I'm saying, like how the police deal with us is people have, the argument on the internet has become this. I'm seeing this in so many things, like, oh yeah, well, she had a weapon. He saved somebody's life. Well, that dude that shot those kids over there, remember we talked to Kiwan, the golden activist, about the kid that was walking with the rifle that had just killed 2 people.
Yep.
No shots fired at him at all. We got Dante Walker, who just got killed trying to get back in his car. But then there's a whole nother video running around on social media where a dude is got a gun on his seat, telling the cops what he ain't gonna do, not getting out, telling them he'll shoot them, everything else, and no shots fired.